Hi, it's me, Rev Dave. I'm here to share some time for collective worship with you. And I'm doing this one at the end of the school year. And I'm sure it's a time when you're all probably getting very excited at the end of school, the summer holidays. Maybe you're going somewhere on holiday. Maybe you're going to spend lots of time playing with your friends. There's all sorts of reasons to be excited. And I'm sure your teachers are excited as well, looking forward to a well-earned break. But it can also be a bit of a worrying and anxious time. Maybe you're looking to go to a new school in September, maybe a secondary school. Maybe you're going to a new class, new friends, or maybe with the uncertainty of the pandemic, you're still a little bit worried and anxious about what the future may hold. Worrying is perfectly normal. It's what we do as human beings. But sometimes I find myself that quite often we unnecessarily worry. We worry about things that are beyond our control. And sometimes when we worry and it goes through our heads, it often isn't as bad as we think. And it makes a huge difference when we can share and talk through those things we worry and are causing us anxiety. So it's perfectly normal, but it's good to talk to people, those we trust. And of course, for me as a vicar, I find it's great to talk to God, and God knows and understands and will help. And there's a story in the Bible where Jesus shows and talks about where often we worry unnecessarily, when we don't need to worry as much as we do. And he encourages us to trust God, to talk to God, and he helps us to do things differently. So I'm going to tell you this story. It's a lovely story, and it's called The Storm on the Lake. It was a perfect day. The sky was blue, the lake too, and a gentle breeze whipped the wave tips, white and foamy. Jesus sat at the side of the lake and talked to the people about God. God is your Father, he said. He dresses the flowers in beautiful colors. He makes sure the birds have enough to eat. But you are his sons and his daughters. Don't you think he can clothe and feed you too? So trust him and stop worrying your lives away. When Jesus had finished teaching, he was tired. So he called his closest friends, and together they piled into a boat and set off across the lake for home. Jesus yawned. Oh! He stretched. Oh! And he laid his head down. And to the rhythm of the waves and the rocking of the boat, he fell asleep. It was the perfect end to a perfect day. And then, suddenly, the day was not so perfect. The sky turned black, the lake too. And a wind, wild wind, stirred the waves up tall and stormy. The boat rocked right, the boat rocked left, the boat rocked up and down. The boat rocked so hard, in fact, that Jesus' friends were sure they would all drown. But Jesus slept right through it, except for the odd snuffle and snore. Jesus! His friends called at last. Jesus! Wake up! We're all going to drown! So Jesus woke up. Then he sat up. Then he rubbed his eyes and he stood up. It was all anyone else could do to stay on their feet. But Jesus stood up. And then, very calmly, he said to the wind, "Quiet now." And he said to the waves, "Settle down." And they did. Then Jesus turned to his friends and said, "You didn't need to be frightened. You didn't have to worry. All you had to do was trust me. See, everything is calm." And so it was. The sky was blue, the lake too, and the little waves splashed happily at the side of the boat. It was a perfect day again. I do love that story. It's such a good reminder, as I said, that often we worry unnecessarily. And when we worry, things seem worse than they often are. And when we talk to people we care and trust and know who have our best interests at heart, when we share, things don't seem as bad. Things don't seem as scary and as daunting. And sometimes we realize other people have the same worries as us. So it's not just us worrying. So it's good to talk. And of course, as I said with this story, we can talk to God. We can trust God. God cares for us and he will help us. Things happen in life that worry us and a bit difficult and challenging. And yes, there will always be a little bit of worrying, but not to worry unnecessarily and to find people we can trust. And God will help us. We can talk to God in prayer and God will send people who will help us. Someone we know, we care, we trust, someone, maybe a school teacher, a friend, a family member, someone we can trust. God sends those people to help us and to share our worries, that we're not alone. So I want to end with a prayer, and this is where we talk to God and we say to God what's on our hearts and our minds, those things which worry us, and we trust that God will help us. So you may want to close your eyes and put your hands together, and we'll end the prayer with a big amen. Jesus, you once calmed a storm out on the lake. The wind blew, the waves grew big, but you said, peace, be still. Please calm the storms in our lives when we get angry or upset, when we want to fight or have a tantrum, when we feel like kicking and shouting and screaming. Say to us, peace, be still, and help us to see sense. Amen. Great. Right. Well, it's been lovely to spend this time with you. Thank you for listening. Hope that it's helped you if you're feeling a bit worried and anxious. But whatever you do, have a great summer. Enjoy your time. And I look forward to seeing you in the coming weeks and whatever may the future bring. Amen. And thank you.